What's going on, everybody? Want to welcome Father Saunders to the stream and Singletown Bachelor, who are both former servicemen. We will be getting Eric Zombro back here soon because he's also served in the police force, obviously, and he has a bit of an understanding of what it takes to trust people and having a moral grounding and how that plays into the foundation of our basically all of our aspects above that. And the reason I wanted to have this stream with these guys was because they've all experienced a situation where they've had to trust people with them, behind them, in front of them, with their lives. And in that aspect, it can cover everything in our society to this day. It doesn't always have to be a military, setting or a worst case scenario setting, but in our day to day society, in our day to day, regions, whatever the case may be, right down to your neighbor, and it all kind of plays into it. So we're going to have a little video to kind of go through, which a lot of the guys are going to understand that have done any kind of service or any kind of combat, or even done it as a, glass house scenario, as Father Saunders calls it. Me personally, I started off in paintball and airsoft. We got into a big group there that eventually, shrunk itself down to smaller groups that wanted to do things a little bit extra to try glass house, even with airsoft and paintball, and then eventually a smaller group that wanted to try live fire scenarios. So that required a lot of trust in the people around you to do everything right, especially when it came to running these glass house scenarios. Is you are going in with, 1 to 2 to 4 people, whatever the case may be, and everybody has the potential to do essentially what is considered the worst thing is a friendly fire. Now, Father Saunders and Singletown and Eric, they've all experienced it where it was their lives on the line, where if their partner faltered because of something happening, because you never know what you're going to run into in these situations. People died. So if they panicked or fled or, whatever the case may be, um, people's lives were on the line. So we're having a little bit of trouble with Singletown. His computer's not booting up right after an update. And he's trying it on his cell phone, but it's not working so well. So Father Saunders, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I got some time. I don't know how much, but I got some time.
Yeah, we got some quick time here this afternoon. I tried to get this one done early, but with little notice. So yeah, as you were stating earlier, in your glass house scenarios and during your training in combat for war, you had to basically know that you could trust the people that were with you, even though you didn't know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had to basically. Oh, he's got his computer going. People that were with you, even though you didn't know. What's up, everybody in the chat? But
What's
you
up, Ted?
guys,
How you guys?
oh, he's got his computer going. We got feedback, Bachelor. We got feedback. But you guys, oh, he's got his computer going. I don't even know if he can hear us, so I'm just gonna mute him.
Oh, you muted him. Yeah. Until he gets that echo or whatever.
Yeah. So, Father Saunders, like, explain to some of the guys like what it felt like to kind of go into these scenarios even before you got to Iraq.
So, the training for it when you're in a combat class, specifically infantry, you practice first with what they call rubber duckies, where you have these like makeshift rubber replicas that replicate the weight and the dimensions and shit. In my case, in an M4, to teach you don't flag. So you'd always act, even though it was a toy we called rubber ducky, you treat it like it was an actual weapon because eventually that's where you're going to be. So that's where they start training you to get everybody used to constantly having muzzle awareness at all times, and getting the shit smoked out of you and punishments and shit for those that ever, didn't do that.
It's over 9,000!
Okay. I have no idea what Bachelor's doing.
Sorry.
Hopefully I didn't blow your guys' eardrums.
Okay, so carry on.
So yeah, eventually when you got farther along when you first start, like in basic. When you got further along, of course, you get your real rifle, and you'd be responsible for it, responsible for its cleaning, its maintenance, how you have it set up, how you have everything tied down, and then you'll have uh, blank rounds. So you'll have what's called a BFA, and that's just an adapter. I can't remember what the fucking acronym means now. Anyways, it's on the end of your muzzle, and the rounds that you fire are blanks, right?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you train for quite a while, and then after that, you go to actual live fires. So they would do live fires both day and night with night vision. And I'm going to tell you guys how cool night vision is, but how much it fucking sucks to wear in your helmet. It's god awful. At least for me, it was. Because when you try to get down in the prone position to fire your weapon in a case scenario or training, the damn thing wants to push up on it from the back and constantly wants to go over your eyes, especially when you're sweating your ass off. So that really sucked. But uh, the night live fires and the day live fires were both at ranges, of course, and then also on movement to contact, assaulting through a line, things like that. When you're doing that with live rounds and at night, the first couple of times, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty intimidated. You know,
Well, it's a fucking it. Like I said, even when we were doing it as amateurs, not in any military, just a group of guys together. When we switched over to even training with empty fucking guns, people started to like sweat a little bit more. You could tell like tension was high because we knew where we were going next and we were going to load these motherfuckers, right?
yep.
Like people started to sweat a little bit more. They started to double guess themselves essentially as we were going. And we could all see it in each other's eyes. You know what I mean? Like they're double checking, like they're not sure if they should or not. But if they were still using airsoft or something, it was very calm and fluid. You know what I mean? It was all nice and chill. But as soon as we got to live fire guns, everybody kind of tensed up. And when you tensed up, you made mistakes, right?
Yep. That's why they do rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. I mean, we do that shit all day,
Yep.
and all night, and it was god awful. But I can't deny that I felt that I was highly trained. It really did help with confidence when you're doing it like that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
but I'm going to tell you too, you get to talking about a lot of weird fucking shit when you're out with a bunch of dudes for fucking weeks at a time, dude. That's where you get a lot of sense of humor from, and there's some dark ass shit. And guess what? Dark ass shit saves many soldiers' lives because they have that dark sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
When
And you got to see shit that humans are not supposed to fucking see. It's not normal to see this shit.
So,
well,
Bachelor, you were saying, go ahead.
when you are in a march for 65 miles or something like that, some of the guys, especially when I was in just before the Berlin Wall came down. So we have M1 Garant. Uh,
So was that late 80s or early 90s? Right around there?
Late 80s.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Um, so um, so that was quite a drain on somebody who got blisters on their feet, and yeah, that's yeah, a bit of a bother, but you can get a long way to just make jokes or say something some crazy shit, um, because it keeps the morale at a higher level.
Yeah.
And
Well, the morale boost that people can give each other, even in those environments. Like I said, I've never experienced a theater of war, right? But we could all tell, like in our groups, that people got tense at certain times, right? Even I experienced it. And when you're tense, you do anything you can to try to calm the mind, right? To get back to focus. And usually fucking being silly with the guy people around you is kind of helps to kind of alleviate the stress, right? Uh, Like I
have
said, I've
you
never go ahead.
have you seen the movie called Armadillo?
I have not.
It's the about the Danes in Afghanistan. It's pretty hefty.
Armadillo.
Damn. one of the guys, he got shell shock at a point. He got um, lightly wounded, something. But he just stare blank out of the out, and they patch him up. And then again, yeah, certain things are dealt with on a timely fashion, professionally manner,
Hmm.
the army style, when the bad guys are in the house, and we're gonna try and take them out. So yeah, that's that kind of thing. It got when it came out. I can't recall how old it is, but it has some years in the back.
This one here,
Yep.
2010.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This stare. I mean, we've seen that in combat movies, right?
Yep.
We've seen it all over, and I mean, anybody that's probably experienced the theater of combat has seen this firsthand. You know what I mean? That person is gone now, and you have to try to bring them back or do what you can. I mean, they don't just Father Saunders. I mean, if you've done some actual live combat, right, before you got
Yes.
blown up,
Yes.
have you had people panic and go to a state where they're literally no longer there anymore? They've shut themselves down.
I didn't see that a lot with the guys that I was with, but what you're talking about is very real out there. I would say the guys that had the 3 and 4 deployments and more and shit, but it was rare when I saw it. The most time I saw it, honestly, was after service.
Yeah. Well, if you had this happen in the field, right,
Yeah.
with one of your guys that was on patrol with you, would you just fucking leave him and sacrifice him to the wolves?
No, and I'm
No.
glad that I was able to do what I did for the
Yeah.
Sergeant First Class I was with. I didn't freeze or run away. I just reacted, and
Yeah.
that saved his
You're gonna
life.
pick him up.
What's that?
You're gonna pick him up and carry him to
No,
safety.
actually, no. I had to lay him down because he had shrapnel in his legs,
Okay.
and I had to put a tourniquet on. And I didn't know where he was hit, but I do know how important a potential femoral artery hit would be, and how fast you could bleed out. So I was able to react and get a tourniquet on him when we got hit. We got hit by a 107 millimeter rocket, and I didn't have any gear on, but he did, and I don't know how I lucked out. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
Anyways, without getting into the full story, I was able to react in a way that helped get that tourniquet on, and I just did it right away instinctively. I didn't run for cover or freeze up, which, these things do happen because all the training in the world is not going to prepare you for when you were actually in the shit.
Yeah.
Actually,
Absolutely.
fucking shit.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
could say, "Oh, I would have done this," and I'm guilty of it too. I would have done this if that happened to me. When you're in a situation like that,
You can't tell.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know those pillars and morals and beliefs and values that you have is going to make a lot of difference on how you react.
Absolutely.
Either you react or you don't. It's a switch. I have once been at a place where some young guys were swimming, and one of the guys actually went under, and I fished him out. I 2 meters down, and it was my brother. I didn't know. So either you react or you don't, and you never know whether or not that you are going to react the right way or the best way
Mhm.
in the situation that is at hand. So
Yeah, no, there's no shame in it because I mean, like,
oh,
you're your guy with the most experience to the least experience can freeze up at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the chat, brother Eric. Hope all is well with Mom.
Oh yeah, just petty annoyances.
Understandable.
Good to see you and talk with you again, Zombrow.
How are you, Father?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm glad everybody's doing well.
Yeah, Katie was asking for you if you still want to ever get into that little thing that we do.
I'm sorry. Can you say the first part again?
I'm sorry. I said my daughter Katie, my older daughter, she wanted to know if you ever were interested in doing that thing that we do, the little history debates that we do.
Sure. I don't know how much you guys are really well knowledged in it. I have some experience, but you guys are definitely well knowledged on it. So I don't know how much more opinions I could offer, but I'll give it a shot.
Okay, cool. I'll let her know. Excellent.
Keep your expectations low, though.
Same on my end, my friend.
All right. That way, if it's that way it's a good shock and just not a surprise at the same time. Either way,
she's smarter than the two of us put together.
Hey, Father Saunders, if there's money involved, we can set up something where I'll use Google to help you out.
I'm gonna have Chris. He's gonna be. I'm gonna have him on the phone, so he's gonna be hearing the conversation here, and then he's gonna be my backup anchor dude. He's gonna say, "Hey, man, don't forget this." Don't forget that.
So, brother Eric, you had a story that we were discussing before we went live there, and you had to leave, but. Would you run us through that scenario? Because
certainly,
your buddy's scenario here is a bit different.
My friend John, he worked in the 8-1 precinct, midnights. I worked in the 7-5, but they're near each other, so we used to hang out and drink coffee between calls. Anyway, I was off because I wasn't there, but they got a call for a domestic, and the guy that was beating the crap out of his wife, when they knocked on the door, he answered the door and he shot my buddy in the head with a .44 Magnum. Ooh. Now, the only way that he lived was the guy had the gun elevated and like to the top of his forehead. So it hit the thickest part of his skull and ricocheted the bullet. It fractured his skull. The bullet went underneath his skin, went down his neck, broke a few vertebrae, and then it ricocheted and shot out his shoulder blade and it blew out his shoulder. So,
God damn.
So the guy that he was with, he passed out in fear and pissed and shit himself. And my partner John, of course, he was knocked out, but thank God the guy, instead of coming out and finishing them both off, he just barricaded the door. So when John came through, he had to carry himself out, but he also had to carry his partner out, who was, loaded with fecal matter and urine. And he had to do it one-handed because his left shoulder was just totally shot and he couldn't move his left arm. And he was gushing blood, so he had to carry his partner out. So when he called for help, everyone thought that his partner was dead, and it was just the guy fainted.
So now your buddy John here, that's somebody that I have no problems trusting to fucking have my back.
Right.
And I don't know him from a hole in the ground. But his actions speak fucking much louder than any word ever could.
Yeah, now the guy that he was with, I think his name was Ken or Kevin or something like it was something with a K. He ended up quitting a week later.
Well,
the training sergeant, the training sergeant was like, this job's not for you.
Yeah, and your buddy John could have left him there.
Yeah.
Right?
He could have, but he didn't.
Fucking left him, but he didn't.
But
now that's a different scenario where a person, got literally the shock of their fucking lifetime, right? But that's how these things generally go down. There's no in Father Saunders and Bachelor's case, yes, they were soldiers in a war zone, so there was some level of expectation that they trained for, right? They didn't just go knock on everybody's door and say, "Hey, how's it going? I'm coming to do a walkthrough," right? But there was an expectation of potential, threats inside their buildings.
Correct.
Even for you guys, when you knock on a door, there's some expectation of a threat, right?
Oh yeah. We never let anyone go near their kitchens or anything like that. We always tried to keep them away from bedrooms, away from kitchens. But
But you can't answer the door with guns drawn.
No, no, we can't answer the door with guns drawn. That wouldn't be good.
No, then that's where
that's
these
escalation.
yeah,
Yes.
and that's where these guys had the advantage on that because they could answer the door with guns drawn, or kick in the door with guns drawn.
Yeah, and
But-
to answer Davina's question, that's a crazy bullet path. Yeah, he still has no motion in his left arm or shoulder. He can't use his left arm. But
Damn.
but yeah, that was crazy.
But
Yeah,
he's alive.
So
What's that?
He's alive though.
He's alive. At the time he had just his new daughter was born, so he's got 2 boys and a girl.
Yeah. Damn.
So now, obviously, the Kevin guy, like you said, quit the next week or something.
Yeah, a week later, they put him out because of stress. They took his gun and shield because they didn't want him to kill himself in the off time, and then they just basically convinced him not to come back. The training sergeant went to his house and talked to him.
So
he
he
was
had a
basically on a
form.
modified version of a suicide watch.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
he essentially got like shell shock right there.
yeah,
And I mean,
and he wasn't that new. Like he was new, but he wasn't that new. Like he had like about a year on the job,
well.
so he should have,
So now, Eric, when you guys did your combat training, right? Before going on before actually being in the force, did you guys do like barricade scenarios or glass
Yeah.
house scenarios, as Father Saunders said, where you've got people with you?
Yeah, we called it the fun house. Now we all got trained the same way, so like that if you were with anyone from like a different precinct, you knew like the same. You went through the same training, so you had the same tactics, which is pretty cool. But like for barricaded perps, that was something that we called ESU for. We just we created a safe zone, barricaded, like, block traffic, everything. And then we called the ESU to specialized guys with, like ballistic shields and everything.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the ballistic shields because one of the scenarios that comes to mind, and the one that these guys from the video that they like to promote as like the absolute wrong way to do shit, is the South African incident where they were storming a building with terrorists in it, and they got into a firefight, right? They had basically piled up. Right now, Father Saunders and Bachelor might understand this a little bit more, but they piled up, right? So nobody was moving forward. The assailants had them pinned down, and then you had 7 guys packed into a space that only 3 people can fit, right? And eventually, someone made the mistake of not following their fucking training and putting flash before muzzle, and ended up shooting one of their own guys right in the back of the head.
Oh God.
Right.
See, but that comes into what comes into that effect is like you get caught up in the moment and you have no weapon discipline, basically.
Yeah, that was a poor weapon discipline, but as I stated, these guys probably, whether they were experienced or not, they didn't follow proper etiquette and protocol when it came to protecting the people around them. Right.
We had a task force guy a transit task force guy. There was like supposedly like a gun run in one of the upper elevated platforms. So like 6 or 7 guys were going up the stairs, and the lead guy was going up. The guy behind him shot him in the ass because he had his finger on the trigger of his Glock. Shot him right in the ass, right in the right butt cheek.
Wow.
he was pissed.
Really?
Yeah. So like that happens. That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, these are all preventable measures, right? With proper discipline and control. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Father Saunders and them have all experienced it, or they've gone through the training where, you have to really control yourself when it comes to being in like an actual firefight.
Yes.
And if you lose, sorry, go ahead.
and Zombro probably went through similar training. At all times, you are practicing trigger discipline and muzzle awareness.
Yes. Yeah. Always. Like you want to see like what like discipline is and like what training is. There's a video out from Officer Tatum. I don't know if you guys know him, but he had a video out where like there was like a gunfight going on, and this cop just pulled up, drinking his coffee, put the coffee down, got out very calmly, went to his back, got his AR, and just drilled the guy 2 shots. Went back, got his coffee, and like when it all comes down to the training and the discipline. Like if you do it enough and you get used, you don't get used to it, but you anticipate the surge, the adrenaline rush.
That was actually an amazing video. He was just the calmest, nonchalant you could possibly be. Just
it was hilarious.
Coffee on the dash. Like just like it's just another day. It's like this happens all the time. Gets out, just like you said, goes to the back. AR comes up, and is it true that it was a 180-meter shot?
185 meters.
That is fucking impressive, no matter who you are.
Yeah, no shit.
And what was funny about it was like when he was driving lights and sirens to the place, doing like he was doing close to 100. He was driving with his coffee in his hand, one-handed. It was hilarious.
You ain't fucking up my morning. This is my morning routine, motherfucker. Now you done fucked it.
But
out of my business, drinking a coffee, and I had to go out and shoot a motherfucker. But no, seriously, he was as cool and calm and collected. That's the perfect example of how when all that comes together, what that looks like in that scenario.
Exactly.
I mean, I had to watch it multiple times because I thought it was that fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, cause like but that's what like that's why like you need like you always have to train. You always have to be disciplined, and you always have to like just pound it into your head, like and that and in a situation like that when it all comes together, you see why you do all that training.
Well, and the unexpected, right? When you have the unexpected in a scenario and you basically lose control of your surroundings, it generally ends very badly. Like I have seen guys doing training videos that have stepped into fucking vents and gone down through the fucking floor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you have like I said, the South African incident, which I'm trying to find a video on, but I can't seem to find it. So hopefully it's not been scrubbed.
My YouTube again.
Yeah, YouTube could have scrubbed it because of the fact that it does show a man getting shot in the back of the head. It doesn't show any blood splatter or anything like that because he had his helmet on. It kind of hit all that.
The helmet save him? Like, is he
No. His partner put a 9mm or 45mm right into the back of his brain pan, and he dropped like a fucking stone.
Well, that will do it.
Yeah, he was done. I've never seen he literally looked like he jumped down into the fetal position.
Yeah.
Right. And it was fucking terrible. So now these videos, they're not that old, but I really wish we had these videos from the Pros Guide to CQB, because they pointed out a lot of things that we didn't fully have a grasp of, but you guys have probably trained, right? And dude, seriously, when we went into this, we had little to no experience, but we figured it out as we went. You know what I mean? And we basically developed the same kind of concepts and tactics that these guys point out that just came naturally to us because we worried about literally picking off our own people. You know what I mean? Because we were trying these glass houses as amateurs without any type of supervision, right? And we could have just as easily fucking popped somebody in our group. Just as easily. And it's just guys out fucking having fun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, I can remember that my group leader and the NCO of the company that I was in, the National Guard, they search for books on CQB, especially. And when Afghanistan came up, we got some some guys who have been there in the green zone to actually reevaluate our how to make a checkpoint, and especially about vehicles and approach vehicles, and especially women in burqas, and how to engage that type of things. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, and
so
that's another
that's
scenario all in
basically a
itself.
rewritten. It's a rewritten of the playbook on CQB from what we are actually up to then have been learning.
Fuck, I'm trying to figure out which video this because I want to say these guys do show it. And I'm trying to find the video that they did for the group CQB essentially, or for the same tactics that you guys would have used in the military, or even what do you call them, Eric? The guys that you would call for clearing the
ESU. They handled the barricaded perps because they would have won.
ESU.
ESU, Emergency Service Unit.
Yeah, so most likely these guys would have trained in the exact same way. Hell,
Yes.
they might have even been like the exact same thing, but for South Africa. A lot of the guys were using like pistols, right? Like I said, the shield guy, who was unfortunately the one that got the bullet in the back of the head, he was using a pistol. The guy that shot him was using a pistol, and I believe two others that you can see in the video clip. Like I said, these guys piled up basically, right? They were not advancing when they had the chance, even though they were protected, for to a certain degree behind this shield guy, right? The riot shield guy who could, withstand those bullets because he was literally standing there taking them. They wouldn't advance because they were too worried to advance. And then the last guys started piling up on them. You know what I mean? So they all got jammed in this fucking little fucking corner segue, and they got so tight packed that there was 4 or 5 barrels pointing down the same direction from behind their lead guys. And eventually it just happened, right? The guy was pointing down range, looking at where his target range was, or his target position was, and his partner in front of him, who had the riot shield, stood up and pop, all over in an instant. And I've talked to Bachelor and Father Saunders about it. Like when we did our CQB training and we went through these wingman, point man scenarios, like because I'm short, right? I swear to God, every group has one of these people. You got one that's like 5'8" and the other one that's like 6'4", and they pin them together. It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, the one guy's like a midget running around the other one, or if you turn him into the wingman, he's basically the monster walking around the little guy. But I picked this video because I thought that was hilarious. I was like, I swear to God, every fucking group has one of these, like every one of them. But we lost Bachelor again. But yeah, so with these scenarios, you had to trust the people you were with, right?
Oh, always.
And they had to have your best interest at heart, because if they were willing to sacrifice you to save their own skin, they're not the people you want fucking in a group with you when it comes to any kind of fucking dangerous scenario. Personally,
No, but you, and Father Saunders even Bachelor will back me up. When you get with a group of guys and you're working or what, like who you can go in with and who you can't. Like who you can trust. Like
oh yes,
you figure that out real quick.
Yeah,
yeah,
and with good
in
reason.
boot camp,
With
you
good
find
reason.
that out.
Well, I mean, Father Saunders and Bachelor, how many of these guys that you wouldn't trust to fucking have your back in a goddamn pencil fight have made it through these courses and have basically been put out into the field with other men?
Not much.
No?
Not many. Not many.
Did they get weeded out?
Well, you essentially have what's called squad integrity, and Easy knows about that. Squad integrity is basically you're almost you move and communicate like it's one fucking constant flowing person. That's just you guys just feel off of each other. That's called squad integrity. That's when you don't even think about you having to trust the guys. It just goes.
Yes.
So I don't know if I would say they're weeded out because, there's always going to be some fucking, shitty soldiers and shitty police and out there that could give a shit less or, whatever the case may be. But when you got a healthy unit and the mentality is good and it's not just false motivation, even though I hated all the training I did, I absolutely hated it, guys. I did not like it. But I'm thankful for it at the same time, but I would want to do it again. I'll put it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, unfortunately.
But Chris, the thing I want to point out, and Bachelor and Father Saunders will agree with me, is like when you have people that you can't trust, you get like accidental discharges, like that girl who went for her taser and shot and killed the guy, and now she's going to jail. Like the police department's overrun with what we would call house mouses. They're no good on patrol, but you got to put them someplace. So have them do filing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, and because they need to get a number for a month, put them out and let them get in the rest. They get put into a situation and, someone gets hurt. There are some people who absolutely should not be on law enforcement. Law enforcement is overrun with people like that.
Well, just recently, wasn't it like 2 months ago? There was 4 or 5 police officers tackling a guy in a fucking convenience store. The chick pulled her gun out while they had him on the ground. She pulled her gun out. She shot her partner and then shot him.
Jeez.
Yeah, she discharged one into her partner's leg while she was basically getting it from the holster.
See, like, look, I'm not saying that there are some people who should not be officers.
Absolutely.
Period. End of story. You like, look, I even worked with some. You see these fat, disgusting slobs that, the only thing they're running for is a dessert table. You know what I mean? And I'm supposed to expect them to keep up with me doing a foot chase or in a fight.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
There are some people who just don't. I think there should be physical standards for police. I think there should for police, fire, everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think all of it should be based on the male-only standard. If you're a female and you can make a male-only standard, then people are going to be more accepting of possibly giving you a chance. Well, but there shouldn't be a gender. There shouldn't be a because the military has it too, as far as push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run, at least back in the day, and they had a male, then age groups, and then female, and then age groups. If it was just the male and everybody got graded as a male, even if you're female, I can accept the possibility of giving that woman positions wherever it is that she needs to go because she met the male standard.
Yeah. I had one partner that was female, Mary Ann, and she was the only woman out of the many that I worked with that I felt comfortable with.
Well, I will share a story here with you about a fireman who...
Those women just usually look like bull dykes, though. But anyway, it's okay, Reggie. I should put that in there.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I just had to throw that in there.
Well, the fireman here who was on the local, volunteer fire department, big guy, very athletic, right? But was a complete and utter fucking asshole. He was on a fire department that was meant to step into dangerous fucking zones, right? That's what they've signed up for. He wouldn't go into a burning building.
Then he needs to be fired.
He was fired.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. But I mean, that was his scenario, and he was with them for years, though.
Basically, what's sad is he took the spot of somebody who wanted the job. You know what I mean?
Well,
and that's what I have against somebody. Yeah, somebody who was willing to do it. Yeah, that's what I have against these freaking empty suits that are in some of these positions.
Well, he basically told him plain out that he has more at risk, so he's only worried about himself. Right? Yeah. That's not what people go into when we go to the level of a civil servant, right? Somebody who's a part of the community or who's a part of a organization to protect the community. if all they think about is their own well-being, you get what happened in fucking Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All the police officers stood outside and said, "Nope, we're just going to let this fucking maniac kill all these kids because we got too much on the line." That's what you fucking signed up for, right, Eric? You freaked the fuck out about how they did nothing.
I still remember the speech Sergeant Guerrero in the academy gave us. You act. We'll give you a great funeral, but you act. Even if you take a few, even if you become, a target for the guy, if you can get the person doing the shooting distracted from
With
the
swamp.
from the civilians, and you can just, save a few lives by getting him distracted and knocking him out of his fugue state, then you've done your job.
Yeah.
We'll give you a funeral, we'll take care of your family, but that's what you are. You act.
Yeah.
Those cops are cowards. And I'll
Yeah.
say it, I would say it to their faces if I saw them.
Well,
Coward.
think about that. That's in every aspect too. Like I said, the fire departments, your local
Yeah.
fire departments probably have guys that basically will say, no, I think my fucking job ends right here, and I'll just stay outside and water the building while people are burning to death inside." Or even his own team members, because without his moral grounds, right, his team members don't mean anything to him. Just
Well,
like
exactly.
just like the immoral police officer, right? Those kids didn't mean fuck all to them because it wasn't their kids.
Well, wasn't one guy's wife in the building texting him, and he was at the
Yes.
end of the hallway?
Yes.
Like, I don't know, man. I think that if that's the case, then that all those guys that responded that day should all be turning in their badges.
I personally
All
think
of
they
them.
should be jailed
Yep.
for cowardice or executed,
Yeah.
even in some cases. Like,
And
we
then
used to do that.
then the beatings they were handing out to the real men who actually wanted to go in and save people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's easy for fucking 6 or 7 of them to pin down a father who's trying to save some of those kids, even
Look,
unarmed.
remember that video? I mean, that one guy was pile driving his knee into that guy's head.
Yeah.
Pile driving, and he was cuffed. And nothing ever came of that.
We watched that video, and they are fucking still trying to deny that ever happened.
Oh yeah.
We watched it literally here on this channel. We watched it, and they are trying to deny that it ever happened. And now it's all been pushed under the rug. But these acts of what we would consider cowardice, right? We used to execute people for that.
Yep.
What do they give you now? Father Saunders and Bachelor, if you were to basically do the same thing in the military, you would be looking at what, like 7 to 8 years in jail?
Nope. It would be a string and or a bullet.
Oh, so you actually do execute your what did they call them? There was a term for it.
A CO, conscientious objector.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Hank, you are not that in the army. That's for sure. Because when you are in the army, you first state that you are CO, and you don't say it by when you are getting in front of the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
You do not do that. That's only what politicians say.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's easy for us to sit here outside of a fucking war zone and say they're cowards for not going in. Like I said, we all have fear, man. That fear is with us. It's what we do to overcome the fear, to push forward. You know, that's what makes us what we are. You know, that's where we get our fucking iron from. You know what I mean? We push through hard times. We push through difficult situations to do what needs to be done. Whether you're a fireman, a police officer, or a soldier, or even just your fucking neighbor. We have more stories of neighbors, you know, putting their lives on the line, and in some cases throwing their lives at a situation to try to help someone else that they didn't know. That was the moral foundation, right? You don't do that with a lack of morals. With a lack of morals, you sit back and fucking pop popcorn, right?
Think about it when the enemy is throwing a hand grenade, at your compound, and it's within, I don't know, 2 meters or something like from your body. Who's gonna eat that grenade?
Yeah,
That's
somebody's going to.
yep.
Somebody's going to. Like I said, it's
Well, hey
I,
guys, I don't want to interrupt. Thank you for having me on. I got to get going. I'm at 45 minutes here. And
all right, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
hey, you betcha, guys. Thanks for having me on. Zombrow, Bachelor. Good to see you
Hey,
guys.
take care, Saunders.
You
Take
too,
care.
and everyone in chat. Have a good one. You guys have a good night.
You too, brother. Thank you for coming. I was hoping to play this video and we could go over a couple of things. I cannot play it with audio though, guys, because I will get copyright strikes. Oh, of course we got a fucking ad. Hold on, but these guys over at the Pros Guide to CQB, they explain a lot of this in detail, and they go through those scenarios, and how the fundamentals of having to trust a wingman. And I've seen, like I said, I pointed out to Bachelor, there's a couple incidents even in these training videos where they do shit wrong, and it's from the short guy's perspective, right? Because they pair up, I swear to God, the shortest person with the tallest person. When you do that as a short person, you have to really rethink, how do I do the maneuvers properly and safely without scooping out my partner's fucking brain pan, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and it's police guys. It's the police, German police. I
yeah.
think
These,
Polizei.
what's that?
Polizei.
Oh, did Eric have to pop off? Oh,
Yeah.
he's glitching out there. Okay, he'll have to restart his thing. But these guys even make mistakes with that. And like I said, even as a short person who went through this literal fucking scenario myself, I saw that mistake right away. And it's because I thought about the person in front of me, not myself, but the person in front of me, potentially being the one who took him out. You know what I mean? Uh, that's because, like I said, my morals were in check there. Um, Anybody else would have done probably the exact opposite, done everything wrong, and put the person at risk. They would have flagged him, as Father Saunders said, and ended
Yep.
up, eventually ended up with a South African incident where he could have potentially shot his own partner. You know what I mean? Um, these were just a couple of things I wanted to cover with these guys. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to keep everybody on, but they had a better understanding of what I was saying here. If you haven't experienced working with somebody, because yeah, being a lone wolf is great and all, but when shit goes south, it's always better to have somebody with you. You know what I mean? Somebody you can trust. And
Two sets of eyes are better than one set of eyes, and
absolutely,
two is better than one, as
it,
they say in the Navy
here
SEALs.
here
Two
they
is
are.
one.
This is me. I'm the short guy. But yeah, so okay, right there, right there. I just want to back that up a little bit, if I can. Oh, hang on. Let's go back here a little bit. So I think this is where I need to be. Oh, let's go back to the start of it. Okay, so there's the first team. So second team's coming through. We got a short guy and a tall guy, right?
Yep.
Both with pretty average platforms, but the point man, who is the tall guy, his platform really doesn't matter. Watch this short guy and see what he does wrong. Oh, he just did it. He just got that muzzle above his head. As a short person, there's too much of a risk of not getting the muzzle over a tall person's head. So you
Mhm.
take the low position, the low, unready position with your firearm. And that's where I think they make the biggest mistake here in this group, even though he just got the muzzle over his head. But that is a great way to quickly accidentally shoot your fucking buddy in the head. And instead of, like, if you shot him in the leg accidentally from a discharge, chances are he's going to live. He's going to hate you, but he's going to live. Right? You blow
Well,
off the back of his fucking head, you got a different scenario.
Well, if they have trained that shift,
See, he did it again. Look, and the barrel
yeah,
was
yeah,
below his head, right there.
yeah. Well, if he is conscious about his firearm is up and it's rest on his shoulder,
Hmm.
and 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 can see that for himself. Um, I think that he can do it the right way, but
I personally think it's bad practice. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
if
but
his point
you know,
man stopped, right? Because
yeah,
the point man's leading the speed. If he stopped,
yeah,
that arm goes into his back and the barrel points right at the back of his skull pan right
yep,
here. If it's down here, it points at his legs. Okay. People have been shot in the legs and lived. People have been shot in the head and lived too, but not as well. You know what I
no,
mean?
no.
So I think that's just basically bad practice. He's following what he saw, right? Because the
But
other guys were pretty.
actually, we had a specific uh, point man in this CQB, and it was always the little guy.
You always made
Always.
the point man the little guy.
Yep.
Yes. See, I've
Um,
actually worked with a guy like this, like who was in our eventual live fire run,
mm,
and my elbow was
mm,
right into his fucking belt, like right here. You
all
know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he so outsized me. And once I was like slightly crouched, ready to take a corner, like over here,
Mm,
right? My elbow was controlling him so that I could get in front of
mm,
him and he wouldn't be the first thing that was seen if there was somebody there.
yeah.
Right. And they actually the instructor points that out in this video where guys make that mistake. But
Well,
I use my elbow. Sorry, what were you going to say?
um, I don't know how much whether or not they have intercoms, but when somebody's changing their position, they are saying it prior to what they are doing,
Hmm.
changing position.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Here's a good one. Watch this guy walk right down this vent. Whoop. There he
Whoop.
goes.
Uh,
Situational awareness, people. Like he's explaining how, he's in the wrong position and couldn't see, right? Because his weapon and his partner's weapon was blocking his view.
yeah,
So yeah, no, it's that situational awareness that definitely helps things out. But protecting your partner or your wingman or your point man, like see, that's just that's just asking for it, man. It's different when you're a taller person and you can get that muzzle above a person's head
yeah.
by a good
Well,
distance.
well, yeah, it's always a priority to know where your muscles are,
Yeah.
and that's something that he's not
Like there
all
it is
that.
again.
Yeah,
He's too short compared to this guy. Like you have to think about the person that you're with. You know what I mean?
what the fuck is he doing?
He's quick changing him.
Yeah, I was.
See, like here, he didn't take that corner at all, right?
No.
That would be where I'd get you get in front of your point man and you take a lead and slow him down if you need to get out in front of him, ready to take a corner because your point man is supposed to be always on point, right? He's always looking down the hall. Your wingman is what your wingmen generally are what clear things. So personally, I think it's bad practice, even in this pros guide video. Not to pick those guys apart because a lot of their information is fucking amazing, amazing information. But you
It's
have to
from the
trust.
Israeli army, you know,
Yeah, he's former Black Ops or something, isn't he as well?
probably.
Here he goes into the corner detail, but
Yep.
yeah, no, you have to trust the people that you're with,
Look at
man.
that. Yeah.
That's
Somebody's
perfect.
looking in, and the other one is looking straight ahead because it's there can be a decoy there.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. That was good execution.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like I said, if you're going to be a point man, you have to trust your wingman to know what to do.
Yep.
And
Right.
when shit goes wrong, let's say your point man takes one, right?
Yeah.
It's all on the wingman to fucking get him out. There's no moving forward anymore. Wingmans don't move forward without their point man. If their point man's down, they got to go back and they got to drag his ass with them. Hopefully.
I know this Amanda Reloaded says, yes, when fights happening, things never go as planned. Nope.
No, they don't. And like I said, that
Always cock ups.
yeah, there's always dude, like I stated at the start here, when we started using just empty weapons, knowing we were going to be doing live fire very soon, everybody's demeanor changed. You could see them double guessing, right? You can see them almost always in a panic state. You know, the butterflies in the stomach thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We all got that.
Well, we train with blanks
Yeah, we
just to
didn't.
get some of the environment.
Hmm. I can still have basically mentally bring up the ringtone because that stuck with me when we
Yeah.
first went to live fire because we did it without ear protection.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, we were using small arms until we started using a 12 gauge, and I started using my Benelli clone, right?
Mm.
Well, it's like a Benelli clone. I started using that one. That was the first time I think we brought a shotgun onto the field. But it wasn't as bad because we were still using low recoil, right?
Yep.
The downside is that even that fucking plywood building, right?
Yep.
It really echoed
Yep.
a lot.
Well, I've done it in doing some blanked uh, in a missile works. They made what's called sort of metal containers for the for the I can't recall, but they had really high ceiling because they made big stuff
Hmm.
and a lot of shit that was more or less in the works. So the sound went off to you never knew exactly where the sound came from. So that was fun.
So you had to play a guess.
Yeah, and one of the guys he worked there, and we sort of picking up the blanks ammunition, but he said that still a year after the our little joint there, he could find shots, blank ammunition. So,
Yep. Yep.
but but I went there as an LMG. So the Nazis saw the MG 42 through two,
Hmm?
and it chews a lot of ammo.
Wait, you guys actually had your hands on one? Was this while you were in the military?
National Guard.
Oh, okay. So yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
do they give those out to civilians over there? Because I'm coming to visit.
Oh,
Bring your wallet. We gotta buy
yeah,
some ammo. Well, we didn't have anything that advanced. All of ours were, semi-autos.
yeah,
The
yeah,
biggest caliber we brought in was we brought in the 7.62, right?
yep, yep,
But that one was used less often because it was a bigger platform
yeah,
and it was more expensive. So we
and more
stuck with
noisy.
but we stuck with lower caliber 22 LRs and stuff just to get a feel for it, right? And then we switched up to like shotguns, pump action, semi-auto. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a great experience. Fortunately, nobody died, but a few people did get, flagged, right?
Yeah.
And that was something we had to basically figure out because we couldn't keep doing that to each other, right? And it's bad practice. Let's be honest, it's bad practice.
Yeah.
But most of what these guys go through, it's a great thing.
No, Diana, Dogworth. MG3 is the platform. German MG3 is the platform.
Well, with other experiences and other aspects of life here, like I stated about the firemen. I mean, we have people. Of course, where I am is a fire zone, right? Like we have forest fires while there's still fucking snow on the ground and on the trees.
Yeah.
So here we would expect a community to come together to try to, get everybody out should something happen quickly and, get out of control really fast to the point where there is no response time. Like the response time for fire crews, including like water bombers and helicopters to do any type of water dispersion, is probably about 16 hours. In 16 hours, a forest fire can spread really fucking far. Right? So let's say it was really close to the residential area and it burned really quickly. We will know who the people are that can be trusted when shit goes south by who sets up the alarms. You know what I mean? Whoever raises the alarms
Yep.
didn't just see what was going on, panic, and leave themselves. They actually took the time to make sure that people were notified, right?
Yep.
They're not the people that don't raise any alarms or show any concern for anyone else but themselves. These are the people we have to weed out, and that comes with a strong fundamental moral aspect.
Yep.
If you don't have it, you're fucking weak everywhere else as well. And generally, nobody should want anything to do with you. You should be ostracized. But like Father Saunders stated, the moral fiber has been fucking burned and torched and pissed on and fucking thrown in the trash. And that's where we get the people that we experience now today and everywhere. Online, offline, neighbor, fucking big city, small city, doesn't matter. They're everywhere. Right? Been completely dissolved. That's why I think our community does so well, because these are people that come together for a reason. And generally they do what they can to look after each other. And that's why I kind of like the idea of linking those two together. And although the combat training scenario is just like a metaphor in most cases, it does point out exactly what you need to look for in people that you can trust. You know what I mean? Do they have your back, or are they there for themselves only? Well, you be the judge. But anyway, maybe we'll open it up for a little bit, see what the guys have to say. If you guys want to pop on for a quick chat, we can do that. I won't keep everybody much longer because I wasn't planning on going much over an hour, but I think it's definitely something to get us talking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And unfortunately, the guys couldn't stay longer because they would have definitely had. Well, as I stated, I picked these guys for a reason. They have an understanding of what I'm talking about here. They've experienced it in some way. It's never ending well when the people around you can't be trusted, and it's simply because they're too selfish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What's going on, Bingus?
Hey, what's up, guys? First time I've been in the stream.
Yeah, no, I was over with you in Chaos there the other day. How you doing, my man?
Dude, I blacked out on Chaos's stream. I got so faded. I did I was doing a job, and then yeah, probably said stuff I probably shouldn't have said.
Well, my man, out of concern, okay, and this is no way an attack on you in any way. Out of concern,
Oh yeah, no problem, dude.
I saw things or heard things coming out of you that I saw recently from a friend of mine who has literally gone off the deep end mentally because of what his wife has done to him.
Yeah.
And he started doing some heavy drugs.
Oh,
And
I
now,
don't do drugs, but
well, that's a fortunate side, but that doesn't mean you can't go there without drugs. Like, he
yeah.
says he's not doing drugs. From what I've been told, though, he's doing a lot of cocaine. And unfortunately, like, I have tried to reach him, tried to get through to him, and it got me nowhere, man. But I saw those same things coming out in you, and I was like, holy fuck, this kid needs some help, man. So I hope you're doing better, brother. Little
Yeah,
brother Indy.
it's nice to talk to. Yeah.
What's up, Chief?
Sorry, Bingus, go ahead. Bingus, you there?
Yeah, I'm just dealing with a lot of stuff right now, and yeah, pretty much all I could say about that, you know. So
Nope, that's understandable, my man. But at some
oh,
point,
maybe hold on.
so Indy, what's going on, brother?
Do what?
I said, what's going on, brother?
Just having a little coughing fit, you know. They happen sometimes.
Nice.
They happen sometimes.
Oh, that's no worries. I have those myself.
Hey, Chris, how's the smoking going?
Badly. I went off the pills when Dax and them came out, and I basically haven't gone back on them. So I'm almost up to like a pack a day again now.
That was Chantix, right?
Yeah, dude, I the 38 or 40 pounds that I've lost in the last month and a half, 2 months, is because of those pills.
See, I was thinking it was a patch, but no, it is pills, ain't it?
Yeah, it's pills. Yeah. But no, like, it was bad, dude. But I did cut back quite a bit, and it's just they made me so fucking nauseous. It wasn't even funny.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It wasn't even funny. But yeah, no. What are your thoughts on the conversation today? You got any?
You got to have discipline. And I have found, whatever you're looking at, the integrity was a lot better back in the day.
Yeah.
It would be really hard for me. I would have to work with somebody quite extensively before any kind of like combat. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
even
got trust
day to day.
issues though.
Yeah, well, we all have trust issues today
Yeah.
because most people can't be trusted. That's just a fact now. Most people can't be trusted. You know, we used to have a tight-knit community everywhere, and I understand that people have spread out more or they've clustered together in bigger cities, and you know, a lot of that has kind of like gone away. Yet it's the first thing people like to reach for. Oh, the community this, the community that. What have you actually done though to better your fucking community in any way? What's up, brother Eric? Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
It's all good, buddy.
But that's what I'm saying. Just to have the level of trust in someone to do these exercises, I mean, that'd make me a nervous wreck.
Trust me, it did make
It
us
really
a nervous
would.
wreck.
Probably not back in the day, but what I've been exposed to with deceit and trust issues. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but a lot of that does come down to your moral fiber, right? Like if your moral fiber is solid, you're not thinking about just what you're trying to do here, but you're also trying to get everyone else there as well, right? Especially when you're working in a team, even a two-man team. You look after the person you're with, right?
Yes.
And if that means fucking throwing yourself in harm's way, so be it. But that other person has to be on board with that too.
That's what I'm saying. I've had plenty of people say, "Hey, you go first." Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, it's like the fireman here, right? That they had, I got too much to lose to bother trying to save anyone else. And he's a fucking fireman. Eric has run into police officers that probably thought the exact same fucking way.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The New York City police is overrun with officers who should not be officers.
Yeah.
They're there for a paycheck, and that's it.
Yeah. And it most definitely isn't any better with numbers in the military. It's just, they I think in the military they might all, even if they have no moral standards themselves, they know that they have to rely on their team to successfully get through a scenario or a situation or whatever the case may be. All right. But there
Sorry,
are,
I cut out, guys.
yeah, no worries, Bings. They can still fucking have people that'll just fucking, get up and fucking run from the fight that they're having, leave their fucking team behind mid fucking theater. I'm sure it happens.
And to have that kind of thoughts in your head, that's displacing other thoughts that you should probably be thinking about.
Yeah.
In the situation and training. You can't think, hey, he's gonna bail on me,
Am I
Dude.
am I echoing? Am I echoing, guys?
Nope, you're fine.
Okay.
No, it would be.
My
Trust me.
headset's kind of messing up for some reason right now.
If
I mean,
I
I
had,
I can see EZ just being on edge sometimes if someone called out sick, hey, you're running out with so and so, it's like, oh fuck.
Oh, that happened. That happened numerous times.
where people have run out on you.
So
No,
when you guys talk about,
Sorry, finish what you were saying there, Eric.
No, like someone goes out sick, and being the lowest. When I first got to Midnight's, being the lowest guy on a totem pole, you gotta prove yourself. Like, it took a while to learn a lot of people's trust.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's up, brother? Yeah, no. When you first sign up for something, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's even in like the work field. You know what I mean? Even in your day-to-day working life, if you can't trust the people around you, especially when it comes to operating fucking pieces of equipment over your head and stuff,
Yeah.
you run a fucking huge risk. And I mean, if these people just don't give a fuck, and I've met tons of guys on the rigs that just did not give a fuck. You know what I mean?
You rather injure them by accidents.
Yeah, just to get rid of them.
With the first shot, when it's ringed out and you have ended somebody that is close to you because you do not trust that son of a bitch. Hey, force majeure.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
We don't want it to come to that, but shit happens.
There's actually one. There was one guy in my infantry group when I was in the military. He said, "Oh, when the Russians coming, I'll be somewhere behind you." He said, "You know what? Can you see this Carl Gustav? It's 84 millimeter. It's going to be in your face. You'll have a huge hole in your stomach." He was like, "What are you saying?" "Yeah, I'll turn my shit on you if you try that shit."
Yeah. Did you see Singleton? Did you see the posts on? I think it was Reddit and like Facebook and stuff from reservists and active military. They were like, "What? I don't want to go to war with Ivan and face some guy like that. No way. I signed up to get college money." Like,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, like, how many people are in that mindset.
Well, I mean, fucking, you know how the women were with the fucking draft here recently. They were like, "That's
Yeah.
enough fucking feminism and equality for me." What's up,
Yeah.
brother Poopy? But yeah, that was enough fucking equality for them. They'll go back to the
Oh yeah,
kitchen.
the Ukrainian women, they were all for feminism when the Ukraine wasn't invaded.
Oh yeah.
Except the Transformers.
Yep. They sent them right back. They had them drop their pants and sent them right back to the front.
Yep.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah. You're a man by birth. Good. And you can carry your AK-47. So here we
I
go.
was saying what to someone else. Sorry, guys. I wasn't talking to you guys when I said what.
Oh, no worries, buddy. No worries.
No problem.
But yeah, no, like I said, man, when shit fucking goes really south, you gotta have people. I understand the lone wolf concept, right? And that works. It has its place. But lone wolf will not fucking get us through what's about to happen here.
See,
What
that's
we are
what
about
I'm
to live
dealing.
through.
That's what I'm dealing with because I'm lone wolf. It's not that I want to be, but the trust issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if we were all together in the same town, we'd have no fucking worries.
Right.
Oh God,
Right.
we would freaking fortify the town.
Yeah, there you go.
We'd have our own community. Kidding? We'd be
Yeah.
It's
thriving.
like in split second we would go, how is we need bigger guns.
Yeah. But I mean, like at least in the US you can legally form militia groups. Here
Yeah.
it's illegal to form a militia group.
Never heard of it.
Well,
Yeah.
you could have a book reading club.
Well, yeah, you could have a book reading club. Actually, you can do a rod and gun club. Right?
Rod and gun. What?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fishing,
fishing and
hunting,
shooting.
hunting, stuff
Oh,
like that.
oh.
Right? We call them rod and gun clubs.
I thought you was talking like a musket loader or something.
No, I mean, if you want to bring a musket loader, you can. It's just, you don't have to. But I mean, even that, getting it, let's say in a town of 20,000, you could get 12 fucking like-minded people together. I'm not shooting big here. A group of 12. If you could get them fucking like on the same fucking page, right? Dude, there's literally fuck all in this area that could stop you. You know what I mean? But that's just it. When you're looked at as a fucking terrorist organization, if you did that, that's pretty fucking bad. And that's how our government here sees militia groups.
Yes.
Oh,
Terrorists,
yeah.
domestic terrorists. What's up, brother Blue Pill?
Chris, Chris and everybody in the panel, did you guys ever see the movie Red 2?
I did not.
With
Did not.
I'm not good with names.
Okay, well,
Names.
there's a scene in it when Brian Cox says to Bruce Willis's character, with a team of 10 like-minded people, amazing things can be accomplished.
Yeah,
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
it's fucking
It really
true.
is true.
It's true. Who's that one actor? Fuck. He was like, all I need is 3 bad motherfuckers.
Yep.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. And he's not wrong. He's
No.
not wrong. The lone wolf is like I said, it has its place, but it's
Yeah,
it's
but
not long term.
it's the trust issue. You know what I mean? You start disclosing assets and things like that, you just never know anymore.
You know,
It used to be cool back in the day.
I don't trust
you know?
any of my partners. That's why I go lone wolf.
Oh, we got brother pooping while standing. What's up, dude? Well,
You were talking about airsoft earlier. Yeah.
Just
Like that kind of thing.
What? Dude, finding a group or getting a group together to even do airsoft, you'd be surprised the
Oh,
bonds that
yeah.
you could form.
It's fun as hell. Like, yeah, like even Navy SEALs like play airsoft with us and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can form a group that way, right? And spread that kind of. If you could spread morals and ethics, and integrity as fast as you could spread feminism, fuck, the world would be
Oh,
cured
shit.
overnight. Like fucking cured. The only way it's going to spread though is by us spreading it. The media's never going to spread it. The government's never going to fucking spread it.
Well, I definitely believe that if there is a collapse, I definitely believe as RPM says, the hockey mask time is going to take care of all the soy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There are people who are just extremely fed up with the the soy infested men that are out there and
Well,
femboys.
these groups that are around right now here in Canada that are like blocking those fucking pipelines and oil refineries and shit like that, or
Yeah.
even just mining operations. Um, I'm surprised somebody hasn't went up there and shot all of them in the middle of the night. Just shocked, because it's like, hey, nobody's gonna fucking care. It's not the local people trying to shut down these things. They want them things in their communities so that there's more jobs there, right?
Well, that was so frustrating with the pipeline that they just shut down. The Native Americans were benefiting from it big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
They're bust in like the illegals.
Yep, exactly. Well, the one chick up here who was the leader of this group, that I think she was shutting down, or they were shutting down the building of a small oil refinery plant, right? The biggest ironic thing is the entire city that was around there wanted them gone. The police wouldn't do anything about it,
Okay, so
right? Well, here's the other thing. This chick is not from that area, and her mommy and daddy own gas stations. So she's getting fucking mommy and daddy money from gas and oil while
she
sitting
probably
here.
has daddy issue.
Oh, fuck.
Sounds like that moron from Australia who doesn't want you to travel, but she just got back from Fiji.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
How's the sound check, brother pooping?
It's good, brother Chris. Yeah, I don't know if I'm having some Bluetooth issues on my phone, so I jumped on the computer here. So
No worries, no worries.
you guys doing well?
Yeah, we seem to be all doing well.
How are
Hopefully.
you, Coop?
Man, I'm good. You know, I was talking with this big, he's probably like 6'8". I mean, literally, like he was like who was that basketball player, the Chinese guy? Oh, he played
Yao Ming.
for
Yeah, man.
yeah.
I mean,
This guy was probably about as big as this guy. We were chatting up at the grocery store, and he's like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" 'Cause, I mean, he had some stuff, I had some stuff. We both walked to the register. I'm like, "Man, go ahead." He's like, "No, look, I got to get on the call here," and so anyway, we were hanging out, waiting for our turn at the register, and I'm like, "Man, do you ever feel like today's Groundhog Day?" He's like, "Today Groundhog Day?" And I'm like, No. It's like ever since the pandemic ended, do you not feel like things have not gone back to normal? And you just started laughing, like, yeah, I feel like every day I just go in, do my stuff, get out. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about just basic red pill stuff, like the whole like government control. We only had like 8 minutes together, but it was nice to know that here I am as like this little mayonnaise monkey. And here this guy is that
I realized that
I like
What-
that.
with the red pill, it's a real thing. I didn't even know about it before. I'm young, so I mean, I bet there's like a couple of younger people like me in the chat right now. But yeah, I just started to realize. I was like, I was talking to my friend about the red pill thing, and he's like, yeah, yeah, dude, it's pretty real.
well,
It
yeah,
is.
I mean, it crosses all like races. I mean, again, there's going to be a subset of people that'll look at me and go like, who the fuck are you to like sit there and try and educate me on, or try and tell me your strife when I'm black, you're white, you have privilege. And it was beyond that. It was like, no, man, we're all in the same boat together. And we didn't even talk about like, real deep red pill topic issues, but it was just a camaraderie of like, yeah, we're out there doing our thing, slaving away, making money, trying to do the best, and yet it just feels like we're on this hamster wheel. And I don't know, it made me kind of go, I think there's a lot of people out there than what we're even aware of that are starting to
Stacking those
slowly wake
greens.
up.
I think
Standing, how old are you? Are you, if you don't mind me asking, are you Gen X or millennial?
Yep, Gen X, early 50s.
Yeah, me too. So you'll appreciate this. I talked to this black guy, and we were talking about. He goes, everyone that I know is in the same boat. It's just everything is just soul crushing. Like there's just absolutely soul crushing. And he's
Eric,
like,
are you like from New Jersey or something? You sound like one of my Marine friends.
New York.
Oh, you're from New York. Okay. I was
Yeah,
just
I
But
found a video clip, guys,
oh.
where
I thought like the stream like completely failed for a sec.
I found this clip that I was talking about, the South African incident, and he mentions a couple other ones, but I'm just gonna let it play while you guys talk in the back. So get
you
ready
have the
to
clips?
get ready to see it go down.
What we done?
Bring it.
This is the clip where they had the South African incident, and they had another one. So this is a firefight gone fucking
Holy
completely
shit.
wrong, right? Here's another one gone completely wrong. You just saw the guy with a shield walk in front of gunfire. This is how not to do it. And the guys all got bottlenecked, right?
Damn.
So this is a compilation of how not to do it.
Yeah, essentially. Right.
When you run out of bullets, what are you gonna? What do you guys know mixed martial arts and stuff?
Here's where the South African guy gets shot. Boom, right in the back of the head.
Fuck.
Oh
Just
wow!
Step right into it.
Jeez.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
And that's what happens when things go wrong and you don't do shit right.
Was that friendly fire? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he popped him in the back of the head.
Fuck.
So in most
my
The
language,
best thing
guys.
is that he went off the switch.
yeah, with any firefighting training, when it comes to firearms, all of the branches all get trained the same thing, and it's the muzzle before flash, right? So it's basically making sure that my muzzle of my gun is in front of anything else that I don't want to die. So basically, if you're beside me and I put my gun up in front of you, right, and I literally use it to hold you back out of the way, that's proper to actually, go ahead and take the shot if you need to. But if I
Right.
just fucking let you wander around in front of it and I keep it behind you, right, because I don't want to get in your face or something, that's improper. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and that's why SWAT teams like they have one hand on the other shoulder to like let them know their spatial awareness of where they
I haven't
are
seen
beyond them.
a friendly fire that bad in my life.
Dude,
That was
it can
kind of
happen.
weird.
It happens pretty fucking quick. And I mean, even
Yeah.
in the military, like,
Yeah.
they have it happen all the fucking time. And even while fucking doing the training, right? Like Father Saunders said, if you get caught fucking, flagging your fucking partners, you're gonna get a fucking reaming for a good
I don't
reason.
feel safe talking about certain things on YouTube, so that's why I don't talk about too much stuff.
Oh, well,
Exactly.
this is all fine. It's just like you have to be able to trust the people around you, right? Like that guy with the fucking handgun could have just as easily stepped over his buddy, right? Crouched, like basically stood over him while he was crouched, letting him know with his knees that he was there.
Yeah.
Right?
This guy looks like he's explaining to these other dudes like this is what you need to do, and like
So yeah,
yeah.
this is UF Pro Guide to CQB training, right? But the incidents that he showed really pointed out how fast and how fucked up things
Oh
can
yeah.
get, right? And that's with a team of people who are heavily trained. Like I said, there's lots of instruction videos about how if you let's take the scenario. You have one guy crouched looking down a hallway and another guy that was behind him who decided to step over to the left in the middle of the hall to point a pistol down range, right? And
I don't hold a
basically,
gun like that.
yeah, well, basically take up another line of fire. He stepped away from one of his partners, right? The partner that could not fucking see that he was even there. So although he decided to do a peel away, which is totally common, he peeled away right into gunfire. The proper way of doing that, whether you can take the shot or not, is to get up behind your target that's crouched, right, or behind your partner, and let him know you're there while keeping your muzzle in front of him. So the tip of your muzzle is nowhere near him; it's in front, right? So if he decides to lift up, he hits your arms, you hold him down, type of thing, whatever the case may be. But if you use your knees, you can let him know you're there, right? And when he peels off, he'll peel off to the side while crouched to get behind you. Everybody goes home with their fucking brain pan intact.
At least that guy, at least it was fast for him. Look at it that way.
Yeah, that's literally the
That's the only silver
benefit.
lining in that.
Yeah. And I mean, what they showed at the start there, where all that shit was blowing around, holy fuck.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
That was it. That was another group that I think they were from. I think they were from somewhere around Russia. But
school?
No, it wasn't the school group.
Why does he keep holding his gun like that?
That's how he holds his gun. But yeah, it was bad. Like nobody in the team was injured from friendly fire or anything, but it was like so much fucking potential. You know what I mean? Because they just got all bottlenecked, and they didn't want to
I
move.
hate people that hold their gun like
Look
that.
at this, like this here. That's another scenario. Right there, you just saw that where he was fucking shooting through the door down the direction where a guy was just crouched.
Sorry, I didn't mean to use the word hate. I just don't like when people hold their guns like that. That's just a personal thing.
Well, like this is how we hold our guns.
Choke
Here's
it on the
another one.
head.
Yeah, like I hold my gun normal.
See, this guy here is afraid to move, afraid to make a move.
And when you run out of ammo, you got to learn how to, like,
Yeah, a tactical reload.
Yeah. But see, he knows the target's in there, and he's not doing what he can to fucking like swoop around. Oh fuck. We got an
But
ad.
hey, Chris.
keep on
But
going.
what is their DEI score?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think that's relevant, and I'm sure that that's probably a component of their training requirements, qualifications for the company that provided them this.
Well, maybe. That's
They-
just
See, but tactics like this also shows why it's good to put yourself in a position where if you're defending a spot, they have to come at you in a bottleneck.
yeah.
the Navy SEALs flank the shit out of us most of the time, but I got used to it, and then I'm like able to come back at them in a certain way.
Well, these guys, like I said, this guy points out a lot of the mistakes that you make when, especially clearing rooms and stuff like that. But when you're going in with a team and you get bottlenecked, like it's just a fucking, it's just a bad
I'm a
day.
sharpshooter, so
Oh,
Yeah, like Manley makes a good point. Like, why would not throw in a flashbang?
there's another good point. They do throw flashbangs.
why does he keep holding his gun like that?
Because that's how we hold our guns when we're doing CQB.
Sorry, guys. My friends hold guns like that too, and I'm like, why are you guys holding the gun like that?
Yeah, I have a side rail on mine just for that, where there's a spot for your thumb and a spot for your fingers underneath.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near that far forward.
No, it's a
No.
little bit further back. This guy's like tempting to blow off his thumb.
He's
He
gonna
makes-
fucking
Yeah.
burn his pinky finger or his index finger on that barrel.
Well, his shroud's pretty good. It's pretty
What
decent.
the
no,
fuck is he?
No, I think it's on the
Sorry.
barrel.
Davina, I think Davina said they're German, so that might be the GS9 guys.
Oh,
GS9.
You never know. You never know.
yeah, he is really far forward.
It says pull
Hold
aside,
on.
so
You see how the instructor is holding the gun. Okay.
Yeah, like mid forward is, I've only done 3-gun, but
Yeah, there you go.
Puppies. Hey, puppies.
Yeah, see, I have the same lower handguard as he does.
Yeah, see, he's not
Mine
holding the
also
gun.
has a thumb rest. which is a nice setup. I was surprised when I first put that on my fucking rails. I was like, that is surprisingly comfortable. I thought it
Liked
was
it.
going to be ridiculously awkward.
Yeah.
I know people have like different styles of like holding guns though, so I've seen like different techniques of holding guns and stuff, so
Well, when I go in, I have my
I don't hold the gun like that.
That's a very awkward stance.
I have my
I don't
bump
hold the gun
guard.
like that.
No, but
I
even
hold
like
it underneath like how it's supposed to be hold.
yeah, but even his
Like
leg
how-
position, he's really straight and awkward looking.
Like
Yeah,
what are you
we're taking up
doing
lines
like,
of fire positions, right?
like that?
Yeah, but he doesn't even have his knees bent.
No,
And what is he explaining here?
basically tactics to avoid friendly fire for the most part, and how to clear things properly.
So like the V shape, what is this like?
This is a
Are you
hallway.
doing that?
Yeah, the hallway clear, like bent hallway, obviously.
Like in the school.
Yeah, like in the school.
Oh, you mean you're not supposed to just put everybody with ballistic shields at one end and let the guy run out of ammo?
Yeah, yeah, no. See, they didn't get proper instructions. But pooping, yeah. What have you been up to, buddy? We haven't heard from you lately.
I was on
Hammer
Hammer
Stream.
stream earlier.
Yeah, he's on Hammers.
Yeah, I got a little bit passionate about just like knowing where we are. It's not going to change. Just brothers, like look out, and what's the best way to look out for yourself? and
Watch
have
your
F you-
gosh damn money.
Yeah, fuck you money, and if you get in a bad situation, you can take off a year or 6 months until you find something better. I mean, you don't have to put up with bullshit. So, I mean, my whole thing is that for younger guys, man, you got time, you've got compounding, investments, dollar cost averaging opportunities, but so many men
Well, I'm just
go
glad
into it.
I found this stream too.
Well,
No,
it's not difficult, but it's like I feel like, and hell, I'm guilty of it, but I feel like we focus so much in on the present, we don't look at the future.
Mhm.
And if you just take 30 minutes, 1 hour, read some financial planning books, go out to some websites, get your social security statement and figure out, all right, if I continue to make this static amount, this is what I'm going to get paid out and when I'm 62, 65, 67, 70, whatever. There's so many good free tools that are out there that I feel like today, anybody that utilizes a professional advisor and pay them a fee, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, yeah, I mean, not to put a blunt point on it, but it's like, yeah, there's maybe some basic elements of portfolio divestiture and where you should put your money. But anyway, I get passionate about it because it's like, if I knew what, even though I've been investing since 16 or 18 really.
What is this?
There's Fire Calc, there's CSIM Fire Calc, there's
What is
personal
this training?
This is weapons flow training.
Sorry.
Because I know about like certain things like buddy ups and stuff.
Hey, pooping, I got some financial advice. Don't get married.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yep.
I liked what you had to say too about when you discussed, like, we all want the laws to change, or we're all hoping it's going to change, or we all think
not
that we
gonna
can make
change
change.
at all.
I
It
don't
ain't
think
gonna
it's going
change.
to.
Pointless. I mean,
It's the only thing that'll change is if there's a collapse.
Yep.
Yeah,
hard
and we have to
reset.
make that happen.
Are you in a helicopter? What
It's
the heck?
gonna, and something's gonna happen, guys.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen.
So
I mean, they can't move on without us. You know what I mean? So the more we pull away, the more desperate they will become.
Well, that, and also too, like, collapse is happening whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah.
yep.
Because
It's a slow burn at this point.
Since Biden's been in office, $9 trillion has been wiped out of American wealth.
Yep.
$9
Biden
trillion.
needs to fucking get out of the White House, of the Oval Office. He doesn't. I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But to say that this is not a planned collapse is, I mean, you can't. The guy's definitely doing a Nero, just fiddling while everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And see,
Well, they all are.
like Pooping was saying, they get you financially by the balls, man. You know, that's a bad place to be no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know,
mean, this collapse is what they're doing on purpose so that
Yeah.
they can retain the power that they have and weaken everyone else that they're trying to have power over.
Yeah. That's why I think, like Pooping is saying, you have to have some insight to what you're doing. Physical gold, physical silver. No, have a plan. Invest early. Get yourself some FU money. Do some research, and
Yeah.
educate yourself.
We're get
Better.
what I
Here's a
was
way.
like planning to do. We
Sorry,
have
go
to
ahead.
find somewhere like a safe spot, you know.
My
Well,
safe
hey,
spot is out in the woods here where it's literally like my backyard.
yeah, that. I mean, for me personally, like Chris,
Has some.
what your spot, I would have like in what you're doing, you've got the capability to live self-sufficient without
yeah,
reliance.
yeah.
That's the way to go. Now, in my personal opinion, gold is not a monetary appreciating asset. It is a hedge. And I would even argue to people that it's not an inflationary hedge. But that
You don't think it is?
no, no. I mean, if shit really goes down, it could be, and depending on what if you have like ounces, you're fucked. I mean,
Well,
silver ounces, that's better. 10 spots of gold, that's better.
Yeah.
can I
Smaller
talk
But
about like
denominations.
okay, so we all talk about like what's gonna happen in and it's not long from now. We're all like talking about oh this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Thing is,
so
there's only so much further the crazy train can go, because it's ludicrous.
It's off the
well,
cliff, my friend. It's already
well,
Right.
off
and
the
and
cliff.
and, and there are a lot of economists, and some of which that I would agree. I mean, Ray Dalio. I don't know if you guys follow him. I think he's a fucking brilliant strategist, economist. Certainly his hedge fund has spoken for itself. A lot of people think that we are at the down point of the market. Certainly for the Nasdaq, it's down almost 30%.
Right.
My thing right now, and again, it depends on your time horizon. If you're young, fucking this is the time to fucking dollar cost average, put money in, buy the VTI, buy VGD, just take advantage of your 401k match up to the maximum amount. Take 10% above and beyond that and put it into the broad market indexes. I mean, 80% of actively managed funds don't beat actively managed funds. So why pay for a financial advisor that's going to take, 3/4 basis points or 100 basis points? Do not spend your money on that. That's just idiocracy. But for older people, man, commodities, WTI, which is oil, and UNG, natural gas, for the next 2 or 3 years, I don't see that inflation is going to abate. I don't see that we're not going to have worldwide demand for increased energy. I mean, I'm 40% cash. Again, not investment advice, but man, I yeah, I've gotten out of all of my Nasdaq, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, liquidated that, put it into commodities, VC, DMX, UNG, WTI.
Well,
Could be wrong.
when it comes to the commodities here, like I said, I am in a farming area, right? But the farmers have actually had a really fucking shitty year this year. So a lot of crops failed. That's always a great thing to have if you have the space for it. But right now, because of the energy spike that we're having, the cost in energy or fuel and fucking heating, right
Fertilizer's
now,
gone through the roof,
yeah,
because of natural gas.
right. But right now, fucking firewood, dude. There are guys that used to stockpile like fucking hundreds of cores of firewood. They can't keep it on hand now.
are you
All
Yeah.
talking
sold for
about the
cash.
forest fires that are going on? I mean, they were going on a minute ago, but
Down in Hope there. Yeah, that one's I think being contained because of where it is.
especially in Northern California and all that, it always happens every year. But
Oh,
Well,
lost
Chris, I
you.
have a story for you guys. That
All
was
right.
when I was on my vacation in Italy, and It was actually in September this year, so it is fairly new. We actually saw two trucks completely to the brim with the tree, so that it is sawn off and ready to get into whatever they wanted to burn. So they're chopping down trees in, I
Are
don't
you in
know
like
how.
the UK or something, or
He's
or
in
Italy.
Denmark, but he was over in Italy just
I
recently.
mean like, oh, it was in Italy when it happened.
Yep.
Well, like I said, the guys up here, like but because it's all sold for cash, right? A
Yeah.
bunch of young guys are giving up their fucking like 9 to 5 jobs to go cut firewood all fucking day long,
Do you know
and
what
two
it's
hundred
going
and
for?
fifty dollars a core, man.
Fuck, man,
Two
I work
fifty a
till like
cord.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 250 a core. These guys are
Oh,
doing like 4 core a
wow.
day. It's like fuck you guys,
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out there, bro. Get the fuck out there.
You
I
meet a
don't.
lot of cool people too.
I don't see him doing 4 cords without a log splitter though.
No, they got a splitter, and
I was gonna say.
they do cut their rounds and then split them. So it's split rounds, right? But yeah, $250 a core, man. And
Now
Yeah,
is
hey,
it their wood?
yeah, well, you get a permit, right? So I can get a permit to go cut wood, and it's only like a $10 permit,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yep.
And what I do with it, they don't keep track of that shit.
Okay.
So the guys, they go get their permits, they go up and fucking start cutting what they fucking want, right?
Yeah.
And they just sell it off, load after load.
I don't like talking about too much on YouTube
That's a
because
that's $1,000 a day.
Yeah, bro. No, it's understandable bigness. Guys, I am going to be shutting this down here real quick because I have to go do dad things now. My 2 hours is nearly up. But great conversation, great panel. Thank you guys in the chat for coming and hanging out.
Welcome.
Hopefully later tonight we will be able to get together with Chaos again and maybe do some WoW with Hemi. And but, guys, I'm going to try to get on again tomorrow night to have like an open panel stream. So if you guys want to attend that, we can definitely talk some more about the financing, especially pooping, because I like alternatives. I like it when people find ways to make money from nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, and I don't mean by just getting it given to them, but just side hustles essentially.
Yep.
I'm a huge
I
side
need to
hustle
set up
guy.
StreamYards.
Yeah, bro, it's easy. But I figured, that's something everybody should be looking at as well if they haven't already been looking at it. Like I said, these young kids that there was 3 of them, I think, left like fast food jobs, right? They were doing it on their days off, and they started making so much money here this year that they left their actual jobs to go do this
Oh yeah.
every day, and they are starting to fucking make money left over fucking fist.
Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was nice to see them doing it. You know what I mean? So I look at those guys that are willing to go out and basically shake the soy off to go fucking cut logs as a little bit of hope for the
Sometimes I
future.
just get so tired.
That's work.
when
That's
for
cutting
editing
that
for
fucking firewood's
YouTubers
work,
and stuff.
brother.
Yeah,
Ain't no
it's all
joke.
good, buddy. But anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to shut this down here now. And if you want to stay in the back, you can definitely keep chatting back here. But I'm going to end the stream and go do the dad thing.
Right.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
See
and
y'all.
Thank y'all for coming on with me.
All right, brother Chris. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you later.
Yeah.